All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Delicious in Dungeon, episode 22. Oh my god.
The lore has been dropped.
Holy lore.
We know so much more about the dungeon now. We've encountered the immortal beings from the kingdom past that are sequestered away in this pocket dimension, part of the dungeon or what have you. Oh my gosh.
We also got the elves.
Yep.
And okay, awesome, Gabru. You kept them from going in. Cool, but that's only going to work for so long. But
You're
then
gonna
also
have to pull some shenanigans here of your own.
Yeah, exactly.
Figure out what you can figure out and help move people.
But then also, oh hey, there's this, winged lion creature and everything down in the depths of the dungeon that even speaks to us now through prophetic dreams as it tells the future.
Right,
What now?
Yeah,
and the will you take the sword of destiny, Laos, and will you vanquish the lunatic magician? Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
That's a lot. Our little group of bumbling idiots were just having some fun cooking monsters on their way down to figure out some answers. Oh my God, we got answers. Wait. Oh, that was what we were doing this for, but also Fallen.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Maybe there's possibility that what's ultimately the nature of Fallen could end up being something that they discern more through by eventually meeting up with the guardian deity of the dungeon.
Sure. And defeating the lunatic magician is currently your best bet at getting Fallen back the way you knew her.
Possibly.
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
So let's just eat your Minotaur that was domesticated.
Yeah, that's also a whole other thing.
Right. So does that make it better or worse?
Yeah, the fact, what is the level of sapience of these monsters?
Especially when they're brought into this kind of utopia environment,
Right.
Does that make it,
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how they get into that. But, make a decision, Laos. No big deal. So, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. Someone's cooking. That's pancakes!
That's a big
That's
pancake!
a thick pancake!
You bet your ass he is.
And he has a fine ass. I mean, yes, he's an amazing cook.
Wow.
Oh my god!
Buy me dinner first, Senshi.
Oh, the chew. Yeah. Sure. Oh, yeah. Oh. Okay.
Right, so we got a name.
Yeah. Wow. Just friends, yeah.
Why?
Dang. So go past us.
Okay.
Yeah. Alright, so we're being sent out. Yeah, because this is ultimately sequestered away. Yeah. No,
not
that's
at
no
all.
problem.
Oh.
Oh, right. Because we cannot enter or leave here without them.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ah!
Farewell. You really think he's the one?
Oh, shit.
They so
Already.
narrowly... Oh my god.
Just like that.
Holy shit.
Yeah. The huge dwarven city of Dweradov.
磁石が効かない。
防衛地点の名残でもあるらしいし、ドワーフ。戦士、転用いか？
が鋭いからどうしてもね。
Oh.
脳が
Okay.
かかりやすいのかな。
What? What is
ど
it?
こだここ。
She remembers.
大丈夫？
ちょっと周辺を見てくる。
All
the cat's
that
pride has
experience
been
and stuff.
tarnished.
Yeah.
ここにある印が見えるか。
確かになんか
Dwarvish script.
周囲の柱の印を書き留めてきてほしい。それでおおよその現在地がわかる。
Since she's very like
こういう場所には必ずある暗号のようなものだ。方向感覚に優れたドワーフばかりではないということだ。
okay.
わかったぞ。どうやらここは全体の南東に。
戻ってきた。
ハリーを見つけたかも。
What?
Oh, all right.
間違いないよ。シルエットがそうだったもん。
俺はグリフィンか何かじゃないかと。
Okay.
Oh.
グリフィンという。
Wait.
上半身が鳥、下半身が獅子の魔物だよ。
急にグリフィンが出るなんて聞いたことない。
No, Senshi knows something.
Yeah, he's terrified.
獣臭い。とにかく急いで探さなきゃ。
嫌じゃ。
Oh shit.
Did it like kill his family or something?
ハリンかもしれないのに。
It's not Fallon.
あれだ。
Oh, yes! Mushrooms, yes!
Deflection.
毒か何かだから絶対食うなよ。
グリフィンは嫌いじゃ。下手に動くと危ない。
Oh shit.
Ah! Oh my god, yeah, it is risky to move about.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, it is huge, too.
Don't mess around with aerial predators, I guess.
Ah!
イエプテム、ルフェルムス。
What? Senshi, what's going on?
狙いが。
Man,
Oh,
it's
that's how it determines something
terrifying.
being like. Oh shit.
Oh no.
Well, that's bad.
He's gone.
And he was the only one who knew where they like
He
how to
knew the
navigate through
code
this stuff.
so they could get out of here.
武器を持ってた。
いや丸腰だ。
すぐに追わないと。高所に連れ去られては手も足も出ない。死体も発見できない。こんな一瞬で。
Just like that.
マルセル、何か方法はないか？
Me think.
スカイマンを召喚して探す。
That's
Okay.
something.
カイマン。
That's something. Yeah.
召喚術は3種類。1、既存の精霊や
Sure,
魔物を支配した
sure.
やつ。迷宮の主に気づかれる可能。
Ah.
Makes sense.
動植物をいじって魔物にする。これも無理。
Whoa.
必要だから。
A lot of the things that we've encountered monsters are
今回はこれ
examples of that magic.
一番難しそうだけど。
作るならもちろんだけど。
Right, a little mini
Ah.
spirit robot.
最低限
Yeah.
動けば十分だからあるだけの肉を全部鍋に入れて。
わかった。
これだけ？もう少しあると嬉しいんだけど。
なかった。チーズや卵ならあるけど。
Ugh. Oh my gosh, we're gonna cook up a familiar.
A hot pot familiar.
Yeah.
ところで何者なんだあのじいさん。どういう経緯で同行？
Oh.
は？おいまさか知らないのか？あんだけ仲間面しといて。
Right.
Nope.
いやまあ。
Never asked.
生活を話したくないのはお互い様だしな。
I love that they're calling this out of the, like, you never
Right.
appreciated him until he was gone.
Uh-huh.
には引っかかる点が多い。初めて会った時の戦士の言葉を覚えてる。
Ah, yeah, other dwarves.
この迷宮で魔物食を研究してる
Oh,
って。
Okay.
でもこの迷宮が発見されたのは6年前だ。
Oh, fun.
豪華な金属の鍋や包丁をいくつも所持してること、解読したこと、来たことのないはずの海藻の魔物を恐れ、
Uh-huh.
必要に子供扱いする。
最後のはさすがに言いがかり。
Gotcha.
いや、
No, it all adds to
He
the
comes
picture.
from the dungeon.
勘違いな。成長したらトールマンかドワーフになる。東方みたいな一部地域だけだがな。この島に10年住んでて知らないのは、ひょっとしたら戦士は地上の人間じゃ。
無事戦士を助け出せたら。
Yeah.
一度改めて自
Nice.
己紹介の場でも。
Nice.
アンジャーカンとレメンタレント。
Said she would be appalled to see what they're doing.
gonna be. Oh my god.
His face!
You're not aerodynamic.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Cool. Yeah, that's nuts.
Wait, but
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, backpack
Cool.
time.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. That.
Yep.
Whoa.
Okay.
Okay. Found him.
グリフィンはとても目がいい魔物だ。あちらはこっちを見ている。
Nom.
There goes one of my familiars.
グリフィンの体はとても機能的だ。翼は強く、しなやかな体は小回りが利き。
So if it's keeping Senshi alive, it's probably got kids.
生物というのは必要があってその姿をしている。
どんな形にすればグリフィンに対抗できる？
流線形の体は空気抵抗が少ない。もっと
Okay.
俊敏に動けるようになる。狂乱の魔術師が刺激していた我々
Yeah.
を覚えているか。矢みたいな速度だった。
Cool.
Oh, I love it.
ひとまずこの程度で飛ばしてみてくれ。
This is
Wow.
amazing.
Yep. Cool. And you got the rope.
動きが全然違う。これならいける。戦士が地上に降りる間。
Okay.
グリフィンの気を引く。
From this ah!
一体感が必要なんじゃないか。
It's someone playing Mario Kart doing
Yeah,
this,
yeah.
you know? Like,
よし、あったわ。はや。
ah!
All right.
さあ、ついてきなさい。
Cool.
Oh, this is awesome.
Oh.
Well,
や
ow.
られた。到底太刀打ちできない。どうしたら？
Ah!
牙を揃え。
Oh my gosh.
体を鱗で覆い、頭を増やす。可能性が増えた。
Ah!
かっこいい。
グリフィンとどう戦えば勝てる？
He's taking this so seriously.
爪も牙も必要ない。
My.
戦士を救うためだけに生物を生み出すという
Oh.
覚悟とエゴ。
ひたむきなマルシルの思いが祈りが一つの奇跡に到達した。
お前に名前を与える。
Oh shit.
かける白銀の翼。
It's creating like new life or something.
召喚。
Oh.
かっこ悪い。
And then. Zoom!
Yeah, just real fast.
みんな備えて。だからな。
一生懸命なんだよ彼女は。
Ah! Oh my god, you pissed it off big time.
Yeah, you can't turn very well with a body
Looks
like
like a
that.
really yummy worm. Oh my god.
Oh shit!
Actually, like, badly hurting it. It's grounded.
All right.
Oh! Just like that. Yeah.
少し休んだ方がいいな。
Where's my little... Oh.
Buddy.
Did so well.
ありがとう。お疲れ様。スカイフィッシュ。
Yep, yep.
おお、これはすごい。
Wow.
It's a sushi roll?
像みたいに詰まってる。
You're kidding me.
I love it. I love it.
大丈夫か戦士？
Yeah.
Hey, good job, Chilchuk.
So who'd you lose to a Griffin?
召喚獣を適当な長さに切り分け、羽は根元で立っておく。 布切れで水分をし水をよく混ぜたものに切り身を
Battered too. Battered and fried.
Wow.
Oh my god.
ソースを添えて
And that's the wings are the ginger.
Yeah.
Oh my
Or
god.
fish and chips. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Amazing.
肉と野菜が混然一体となって調理法としても優秀なのでは
What?
特に1週間分の食料使って優秀はないでしょう。
戦士も一口グリフィンが気になるか死ぬ気する
わしは今食欲がない
Talk to us. What's going
Yeah.
on? Yep.
なあ戦士、俺の名前はチルチャック。
Yeah. Open up first. Yeah.
10年くらい前から各地の迷宮周りで商売している。斡旋目利き。妻と娘がいるが諸事情でもう何年も会ってない。今度はお前のことを教えてくれよ。なんでこんなところで暮らしてるのか。
わしの名はイズガンダの戦士小さな甲府団の一員だった甲府といっても鉱石が目当て
Ah, for adamantine.
戦争前の遺跡
Okay.
Oh.
とはいえ
Look at him.
主な収穫は鉱石で遺物が見つかれば上々だったがあの日我々は随分大きなものを掘り当て
Oh, and that's the helmet.
Uh-huh.
黄金に輝く古代の城
Oh, wait.
そう
That's the dungeon. Yeah. Oh, shit.
So they were just in a different area and stumbled upon the dungeon.
And we had given hints about this, that the dungeon keeps expanding,
right.
but basically it's just efforts of miners like Senshi that basically even made this dungeon be discovered to begin with. So he's been down here for decades. Like, wow. Okay. Hey, as we get character backstory, we get dungeon backstory.
Mm-hmm.
It all ties together.
This was a very sweet episode. And man, those pancakes.
Those fucking
Those
pancakes.
were so thick and fluffy.
The the way it cut and it like
there's like the
peeled open a
resistance and
little
then
bit.
the
Yeah.
like a little
Oh,
explosion
oh.
of doughy goodness.
I was making pancakes like 3 weeks ago or so, maybe even longer. But I made like a batch of pancakes, and one of them was perfect. Like, it was perfect. It was thick and fluffy. It had like so much pull to it. But I don't think I've ever made a pancake anywhere near that
Oh
good.
no, that's like fantasy levels of thick
Yeah.
goodness. Not all the buttermilk in the world.
True. All right. Great episode. Gave us a nice end cap to the pocket dimension of the residents of the kingdom who have the immortality curse
And-
on them.
They just barely escaped
Barely
before
escaped.
the lunatic magician showed up, whose name apparently is Thistle.
He's an old friend of the, the king
Yep.
from way back when.
Yep.
The Delgal. But also then was potentially not even just like given their own kind of magical training and stuff, but they also have like that book that we've seen quite a few times is like an ancient elven relic of like some
Yeah.
kind as well. So there's that. Then we have Senshi backstory, Chilchuck backstory, and all of this
Chilchuck's a
tied
dad.
into Chilchuck is a fucking dad, and he's done he's gone out for milk in the dungeon and hasn't
he's
come
like-
back for
It's
years.
like a strange relationship with my kids, Like,
I love Marcel's just like,
yeah, the
like
comedy this
Are you kidding me?
episode, the physical comedy was incredible. And on top of that, we got a bunch of fantastic lore and character stuff and whatnot.
oh
So
yeah, and it's all
this was
so
great.
fast.
Oh yeah.
Like just all the way down to the details of like Izutsume being like, oh no, I remember all that. Why was I? Oh my god! Like
I was like,
I was docile.
Yeah.
What happened? Oh my mind, I feel so violated.
yeah,
Like
forget that ever happened,
yeah.
But then then we get the whole thing of okay, yeah, you have a flying monster. That would be very difficult. Like the only
deal with,
reason,
yeah.
Well, and the only reason like we as people aren't afraid of birds is because they're small. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
if you had a bird that was big, that'd be terrifying,
A
right?
bird that's also fused with like
A lion,
like a lion and or
Yep.
like lizard parts, the bottom.
that
So
would
it's
be horrifying.
Yeah.
right.
absolutely nightmarish.
But okay, yeah, it takes away Senshi, and there's some backstory there. I loved the different like emotional tone that we got from Senshi with this. The serious like just what something's going on, but we don't necessarily know what. That worked really well. I didn't feel like it needed to be like pointed at overly much. You know, it was very clear.
I
But
like
now,
I like that Chilchuk was also the one that figured it out.
Yeah, that
like
was
he
a
was
gr-
like, "Hey guys, you realize there's a lot of things that Senshi has said that don't add up,
Right.
or they add up in a specific picture, but none of us actually know any details about him." And it's
Exactly.
Izutsu being like, "So, what's the deal with him? Like, why do you
Right.
even like
yeah, the
care
new
about him?"
person is like,
And it's just
What's
the,
going on?
The classic case of just the guys being like, "Well, we know his name, so we don't need to know anything
yeah,
more." What the hell?
You know, yeah, right.
No, but he gave us all the hints long ago that, like, I think it was the very beginning of the
Yeah.
show when they told
Yep.
us, like, how long this dungeon has been open. And then he tells us that, I've been, doing all this stuff and learning
10
about
years.
monster stuff for over 10 years.
Yeah.
And so
Right.
it's the, wait, that just simple math doesn't add up.
Right, and it's almost like it was being brought up here, kind of like the creator being like, good job to those of you who picked up on it, and anybody who didn't. Yes, I've seeded this from the very beginning. Because like even when it wasn't as serious, it would seem on the surface of a world building type of show.
There was a lot of things
Those-
that were hinted at.
Well, and when the dungeon appeared was one of the like few details that was given, and so then to have Senshi come along and be like, oh yeah, for over 10 years, right? So
That's cool.
very fun.
Yeah.
But then okay, we're gonna introduce like familiars and like, all right, how would we go about doing something like this? And no, it's
Well-
not something as basic as just Marcial closes her eyes and puts a hand on Laios' shoulder. It's blindfold me, and then I'm gonna be physically acting out all of the things that I'm doing as the familiar, which makes total sense and is hilarious.
Is hilarious because, one, I doubt that Marcel has done this that often, if she's done it ever at all. So the idea of this being like her first time or maybe her second time doing this outside of like, I don't know, training in like a school environment or something. She's like, oh, this is so awkward and weird. And I love seeing mages in fantasy settings struggling with how to properly use their spells or even cast their spells.
And so the first
and
thing,
that's, I know, kind of a boring thing in the world side of things, but with familiars, no, I mean, generally people see it as boring. That's why, like, for the most part, we don't go into the detail of when she's struggling with a spell with her actual incantations. We just go through it and it's done, right?
Right.
But in this case, it's because it involves the senses, we can then actually understand what that would feel like to have our
Exactly.
vision split
Right.
over different things.
Yep.
And she can't even use multiple familiars at once.
Right,
She's
it's one
like
at a
using them
time.
all as like, okay, strike one,
Yep.
strike two, we gotta get it right this time.
and the ammunition idea of we have, because who knows how this is going to go. There's a Griffin out there. Make 3 makes total sense. But then also the first thing that she does, like the different mindsets here, right? Of Laios is seeing all this happen, and she's like, oh, you're going to create a monster. That's so cool. Teach me how to do it. No, stop it.
Stop it. Yeah.
And she's like, all right, here we go. And it's a very basic potato little
It
thing.
looks like a stuffed animal bird.
Right. And Laios,
is like,
what?
I am
That's
disappointed.
so
You are
lame.
You have no imagination.
Right, and she's like, no, I just need something to be able to fly. Like, it's, no problem, right? And then, oh, hey, what do you know? The Griffin ends up absolutely...
whacking it easily.
Just, whoop, whoops.
And so Laios is like, I've got an idea. If you let me cook here.
Right, like, let's change
it-
how this thing is so that way it can, fly better. Oh, okay, cool.
But the way it's done is just him using Play-Doh. He's
Right.
literally like creating a familiar with Play-Doh meat stuff
Yep.
that's been conjured together. That's just
And
so fun.
It's something that ties into Laios's like character and previously established capabilities. It also ties into the whole thing of the lunatic magician with the dragons and stuff. Cool. And then, oh, hey, that works a bit better. They do the, of course, smart thing and just get a rope to Senshi, right?
Yep.
But then that one gets taken out too, and it's the, okay, what do we do? And then Laos is like, all right, cool. So it needs to have scales, and it needs to have all these other things, and, you know, and then, you know, the wizard / engineer is just like, no, we just need it to go fast.
Fast and really, really accurately.
And
like,
yeah, and be able to, you know, cause it pain, you know? So,
yeah.
all right,
And
cool.
So his Giga double-headed flame ice dragon.
Nope.
Don't
We're
need
gonna
that
make
shit.
the most boring thing ever, but it's gonna go burr.
It's
The
those
numbers
people
will
that
be
are
really
trying to
good.
make a paper airplane, and they make these ones with all these flaps and everything. And then the person's like, well, the object is to go the furthest distance. Makes the paper airplane
Like
that's long
ne-
and narrow with
yeah,
like
yeah.
a heavy end at one end, and they just throw it like a spear. And it just
It
goes,
just-
woo! Yeah. And it's just like, that's it. Cool. Went 60 feet. I
Right.
win.
Uh-huh.
Hi, y'all.
Yep, basically. And everybody else is like, but it didn't do any cool turns or anything like that. You know, it doesn't look awesome. It's like,
Yeah.
function, bro. Function, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Also, it's just fun seeing Marcial having to effectively cook up a solution with her spellcraft
Yes.
in a way that feels very easy to follow,
Mm-hmm.
but also has its own ups and downs with it. So seeing her flail about on the ground trying to basically, you know, trying to feel like she's the bird, you know.
Yeah.
I am the skyfish.
Right.
Like, is amazing because Marcial's animation is just always a joy.
Oh,
whether
yeah.
it's her being like split-eyed because of the Chilchuk has children, Chilchuk is a father,
Right.
to like I'm going to like cut off a bit of my hair to end up helping scribe things for the for the spell.
Yeah, you're right. Even the magic that they're using is something close to what we got with Fallen, which is, you know, we understood the mechanics with Fallen, right? And then also, oh, hey, how that went wrong and everything. So it's like, okay, this is a different version of that. And the hair is probably something so that way she can have the connection to control it and like perceive its senses and things.
Yep.
And all right, awesome.
Fun.
And none of it has to be necessarily like explained to some really complicated degree.
Except
other
it
than
was explained a little bit.
it was explained a little bit.
And that was that
of
there's-
calorie count.
Well,
we are
not just calorie count, that there's 3 types of summoning magic.
yes.
There's one where basically you end up dominating a beast, and that's not summoning, Marcial. That's just mental domination,
right.
which they then showed the dragon to showcase maybe some things that the mad mage, lunatic magician, has put on that.
Yep.
But then the other version is the let's take something that already is like a thing in this world, like, you know, plants or what have you, and let's fucking mash
it
things
into something
together,
else,
you know,
yeah.
or turn it into something else. That's more of like a form of like transmuting. But then they showed actual things that we've encountered in this world, showing that the magic that has these monsters existing has perpetuated them in just enough of a manner that they now live as beings and have their own little societies and lore and
sure,
what have
yeah.
you about them. I mean, they're creatures, but I mean,
Yeah.
Marcial, you're creating life then at this point. Magic has basically been shown in such a way as to how you can do like god level things of like making animals basically.
Right, because she did drop that whole thing of if you want it to be what was it? But basically independent, right?
Right.
Then yeah, that would make it a much more complicated process, which makes sense. But if you want it to just be a remote controlled little puppet, that I can grok that. That'd be a fairly straightforward thing to do.
Yeah.
And then, oh, hey, yeah, it's a way that we can set up a unique food item that we will now eat. Fantastic.
Yeah, I don't think it's just a unique food item. It's literal descriptions of what we've encountered in the world thus far. We now know why they are the way that they are.
Sure. Yeah.
So, like, as far as Marcial steps away from being at the level of the Mad Mage and or creating the literal means by which this dungeon is filled with monsters.
Oh, yeah, she's getting closer.
She's basically there. She
Right,
just did it, basically.
It's another way to demonstrate how competent she is. Even though a lot of the situations that they're in are all the times in which, okay, Marcial did her thing, but oh shit, there's this other problem or whatever.
Yeah. So that's
Yeah.
I
fun
just gotta
stuff.
say that's fascinating because in this world of magic and monsters and all that, we now have an in-universe mechanical reason as to how every monster was,
created.
well, not necessarily just created, but was brought about or maybe directed by someone
Yeah.
who maybe I don't want to go this far, but we might need to question a little bit of the motives of the lunatic mage, basically.
Oh yeah, no,
here.
I think that's yes, I think that is absolutely a thing. And I
because these monsters don't naturally come about. Like half of the ones that we've encountered.
which also does add a nice little bit of clarification potentially to the whole moral questions of eating monsters and such. No, if a lot of them are like just because
Transmuted things into creatures.
well, right, but if they're probably more or less the same as the things that are not autonomous, but maybe they just have some scripted behaviors or things
Well, no,
like
I would
that.
say they're mostly autonomous, but it's just the idea that like
No, right, but I'm saying that the description of making them was given in the same kind of context as making something that wasn't autonomous. So that's a way that you can have the differentiation of these things
sure.
truly are not sapient. They are, running off of some, internal programming or whatever,
Sure.
but there's, there isn't any actual soul, will, etc.
Yeah,
although,
possibly.
if some of the things are creatures that are just being taken over, then, that could still come into play.
Right.
But
I also want to bring up something here that could tie into this is that the dungeon is brimming with magic, right? Mm-hmm. Everything from like the walls having the little dungeon cleaners and stuff on
Sure.
them to then the very magic within it that's making the curse so that there's souls being tethered to the bodies after they die, so that we can even do the resurrecting stuff and all
Sure.
that so easily,
Yeah.
or so long after they've died. It could be that the dungeon is naturally creating these monsters over the course of a long period of time. Like it's effectively evolution by the
Yeah.
magic of it. Or do you think it's more the act of a direct, like...
well, so okay. Here's
Yeah.
here's something that maybe would be a bit nuts. Theoretically, you could get into a self-duplicating, like actual capable of bearing offspring
Sure.
monster.
Yeah.
That is, still mindless effectively, but its systems are complex enough, and then you could get into theoretically the whole thing of what are monsters versus people and all that stuff,
Yep.
and do we have free will, and all that stuff that even now today in our modern society people talk about. But
Yeah, we have no idea.
but within this fantasy world, I could absolutely see that being the case, and almost the most likely case, because otherwise, with how big the dungeon is, it would just be kind of ridiculous for one person to actually maintain it.
Sure,
there would
and-
need to be automation along the way, in
And
some
yet that's
way, shape,
kind
or
of the whole goal point of the story is that if you basically solve the whole problem of the dungeon, then you become the lord of the dungeon.
Sure.
And people have already been kind of throwing things of like, well, what would be the best kind of person we'd want to have, having control or dominion of the dungeon. I'm really excited for what they seem to be very like drip feed setting up for the long-term goal of the story with regards to how the monsters end up playing a larger role than just food in the story of this anime.
Also, Mad Mage showed up to the peaceful little village literally like within seconds of them leaving, which, okay, lucky break. I love that. That's a great way to just keep, Thistle feeling like powerful and terrifying in their presence everywhere. But also, you cut away, so we didn't get to see how that interaction went down, because I get the feeling it wasn't necessarily going to go well, but also, like, Thistle is okay with them all being here and stuff.
Right, because Thistle casted the immortality.
Right,
curse.
exactly. So then I want to see that conversation, and yet the
It's
show
not relevant to us because
truly does not need to, because there's no characters that are with him
Prospective
anymore.
main characters,
no
no?
prospective main characters there, and none are going to be going there maybe ever. Certainly not for a long time. So
No.
you know, it's just, oh my God, that is you tease.
Yep.
Yeah, like
Yep.
you got me good.
Yeah. And then just, hey, let's get to know each other. Let's
Right.
actually get to know each other. We
Yeah.
still don't know that much of Senshi's story. All we
Nope.
know is that he's a part of a group
Mm-hmm.
of dwarves that discovered the dungeon long before the
Right.
people of the island did.
Yep.
Long before. Which is really fun.
Oh yeah.
That's That's really fun. I don't think Senshi necessarily is secretly like some 70-year-old dwarf or 150-year-old dwarf.
I mean,
but
he
but
could
could be.
depending on what they do with the whole like, okay, how long do the different races live and things? Because
We know that from elves' perspective.
elves don't really go past around 500.
Well, right. Basically, elves don't live that long anymore. They used to. That was a big thing of Marcel's point. That we got this.
it was?
We got this exposition like a while ago.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I couldn't remember whether that was something that we were thinking, that's the case now, but maybe it was different before, and that's why the lunatic magician is still around. Versus...
Well, we can go and get that info there. But basically, we don't have any info on that with dwarves specifically.
Right, and Senshi could be decently old, and given how this episode
at
ended...
least 50, I would say.
Yeah, and given how this episode ended, we could get a decent chunk of the next episode being the continuation of him telling them his backstory.
Sure.
I would love to get that.
I would love to get that too.
Because seeing, like, Senshi is just, I don't know, he is precious.
He's
okay?
precious.
And
we've already gotten really good Laios, Marcial, and Fallon backstory.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that Chilchucks was kind of thrown in here because he's like, yeah, I don't want to talk about this stuff. But also, fine, I will do this because I care about the group.
I'll be the adult here.
Character development, let's go.
And even specifically with the person that maybe you didn't get along well with at the beginning, and maybe you have trouble understanding each other. Yeah.
So yeah, Senshi's the last one left in that regard. So
Yep.
let's get it. But y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel. See if any of that interests you. We'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.